The great Pacific Ocean, the BC Ferries, taking us to our destination on Vancouver Island, where we are this week in the capital of BC, Victoria, here at the Victoria Curling Club. How are you doing today? It's draw number 3 of the 2020 BC Junior Championships, and we're kicking things off here, draw number 3, with some women's action with Team Hafeli from the Kamloops Curling Club. Starting from left to right, as you can see on the photo, Natalie Hafeli, Georgia Gapitko, Hannah O'Neill, and Holly Hafeli. And their opponents from the Gibsons, Duncan, and Victoria Curling Clubs. It's Team Douglas, lead Bella Higdon, second Delana Reinchess, third Brooke Reinchess, and skip Rebecca Douglas. I am Jordan Kiss here with you alongside Melissa Saligo. And Melissa, finally getting going here. Junior Provincial is one of the greatest events here in BC, is it not?
It has been awesome, so exciting. I mean, it's only day 2, and Jordan, it has been incredible. It's packed in this building, and it is awesome to have so many people out watching the kids
It looks
play.
good. Georgia, wait only.
So Team Douglas will have the hammer to start us off here in the first end, based on the draw of the button at the end of warm-ups.
Good girls.
We are on sheet C here in the Victoria Curling Club, as the center guard is thrown from Natalie Hafeli. And Bella Higdon, the lead for Team Douglas. Now this Team Douglas, one of a couple island teams here, I think 2 if I'm not mistaken, kind of 3 here on the women's side. The island always seems to be, and it's, you know, you're from here, Melissa, it seems to be its own little community, the entire island. So you could say that every team from the island, including Team Douglas, is a hometown team here.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a pretty close-knit community, and we've got a team all the way up from Comox that comes down. And
Top 4.
you know, we're kind of unique here on the island, Jordan, not going to lie.
Yeah, Hannah, hard. Yeah,
Very
Hannah.
true.
Hannah.
And we do have a lot of Victoria Curling Club members on different teams
Hey,
out there, so
Georgia,
that's
Georgia.
really awesome.
Georgia. Okay, we're good. It's coming out the other side, I think. It's gonna come out the other side. It's fine, Nat. Just sit on it.
So there's 2 center guards up in play, and then Team Hafeli is just drawing to the back of the forefoot.
Where's the weight? Yeah, hard, Delana.
So I will come and rub off the back blue and roll for shot stone at the back of the forefoot here early in the first end. And Team Hafeli going to like to come around and freeze. Now on this women's side here, you could say 8 very good teams that could all make the playoffs, wouldn't you say, Melissa?
I would absolutely say it's a very even field. There was,
Georgia,
it's been tough
Georgia,
to get here. It was
Georgia.
a tough
Georgia.
regional competition to get here for most of these teams.
Move it, Jordan.
And all the teams
Move it, move it, move
are
it, move it.
pretty equal out there. What I was going to say too, Jordan, is what's really cool
That's
is
okay.
that normally the tactics of a first end game or first end of a game are usually pretty open. Like, we don't see that. But if you look across the board, teams are starting to go for it right away because they know how great the ice is and how consistent the ice is.
Yeah, the ice here in Victoria this week being provided by Cody Hall and Mike Merklinger. Of course, it is provincials here, so 10 ends of play. Each team is given 38 minutes of thinking time with 2 90-second timeouts. As that rock will hit their own.
Right here, Hannah.
Both these teams looking for their first win. Both 0-1. Team Hafeli coming up short against Team Daniels in the opening draw yesterday. And Team Douglas is coming up short in the 10th end against Team Calhoun last night.
Joe's rock. Joe's rock.
There's
Yep.
Hannah O'Neill
Yep.
as we are on to
Hard. Yep. Hard. 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 Okay, leave it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's just curling a ton. There's a 15 too. I'll give you a little bit more.
Just
Is
see
that
how
right?
much it curls there, hey Jordan.
Yeah, it's been a lot of finish. You see, so it almost looks like Grand Slam ice here, where you see, so what I've observed for the first two games, like people were putting, the broom in the middle of the 12-foot for a draw of the button. Now, Team Douglas currently facing 3 blues right now. One is open, so you should be able to make a double.
And you see with that weight, it does tend to run a little bit straighter, but it gets enough curl. You can pretty much get anything behind a guard with this kind of ice surface. It's just fantastic.
As you say, no rock is safe.
Let's just go this way.
And Team Hafeli sitting pretty good right now. Rock on the button, partially buried. They're going to come right on top and freeze to it.
And this is what I like to see by these young teams, is trying to put pressure on the opposition early. The ice is always the best in the first half of the game for
Hannah's
sure.
rock.
And if
Hannah's
you've had a
rock.
10-minute
Wait
pregame
only.
practice, you know what the ice is doing. It's really important to try and go after teams
Hannah.
early.
Actually, Nat. Nat, keep going. That's fine. Really good.
Great shot.
Comes right at the top of the 8-foot, exactly where you want it. And Team Douglas being forced to scramble here in the first end with the hammer.
So Brooke being asked to make a peel here, try and clear things up and give Team Douglas some access to those rocks in the rings.
So Brooke Reinchess, the third for Team Douglas. Knows and moves some blues around, clearing of the buttoning area. Even though
Same weight's okay.
no one blue was removed, that's still a very good shot for Team Douglas.
It is, and originally I actually thought she was playing the straight peel, but that is even a better shot. It does move, as you say, everything off that 4-foot. Now your stone is in the center guard area, so you can run it back again if you need to. But most importantly, the scoring area is a lot bigger than it
Only
used to be.
Hannah's rock. We gotta leave it high. Hannah, really make it move.
Team Hafeli coming out of the Okanagan zone over in Oliver, defeating Team Guidus in the final qualifier game.
She would have been fine. I don't know. She was fine.
And I think another really big thing about these two teams is that they're both very young teams. I believe they're all U18 level.
I believe so.
More ice because
So again, this is one of their 2 major events on the season. Of course, you have the U18s coming up at the end of the year, but a big chance for them to maybe
we're just gonna draw.
this might not be their main priority, but a chance to get some confidence in some big tournament action.
Right, I agree, and I think maybe just that I know of, Bella Higdon might be the only one that's too old for U18. I'm not 100% sure on that, but just missed the double.
Almost missed the double, but does leave her right at the top of the 12, which again is still a usable rock for
Less or more, sorry.
Team Douglas.
More. That's good. We only need like button weight. Yeah.
So it looks like for Team
Button back
Hafeli,
forward weight kind of thing.
so they're going to bump kind of their own rock there at the top of the 8-foot and try to get it
I don't
towards
mind
the
leaving them
T-line.
to double. Like it's gonna be a hard double either way.
Yeah, 2 options here, I
They
think,
can
Jordan.
see
They
a little
could
more than
be
half.
defensive and try and protect that redstone you were just referring to,
Yeah.
and don't give them your opposition the opportunity to use it. or they can be more of the
I think light's
offensive
missed
style,
pretty
which is
much.
what they're doing, trying to
Just
push that
about
blue one
late.
into the forefoot and make Team Douglas have to make a more difficult shot.
Yeah, I see a good opportunity here to possibly steal one, maybe two, as Holly
go hard
Hafeli
if it's
throws her
down.
first rock in this game.
Hard if it's down only. Joe's rock. Joe? Can we get around it? That works, yeah. Can we get around it? Got around it. Nice.
Or it's just
Yeah,
Can we get enough of that one?
that works. Didn't curl as much as I thought it would though.
So we'll play a little tap.
Yeah, it definitely didn't curl as much as I thought it would. Yeah. Yours and Georgia's were curling a ton more and finishing really hard, so. I know, but Natalie's was too, and Natalie puts a lot of rotation on hers, right? That's actually not bad because if we snuck past, it's fine.
Jam on that,
I
or
was like almost scared that
So
you were
Rebecca's got to try and find a way here to
But as you can see,
figure out how she's going to be able to score at this point.
I don't know why it didn't curl up enough.
just normal?
Yeah, they're looking just to open things up here. Maybe try to get into this pocket, maybe move some blues around and create a shot for themselves on their last shot.
Oh, they might be trying to. I
We're
don't know.
gonna roll over. Just normal.
I'm doing good on this. Honestly,
Big shot here for
Hard.
Rebecca. Really needs to try and open up some space for herself. The almost ideal, actually, just to get to the nose of that one, but I think they were trying to go for the back one, Jordan.
I think so too. They're gonna get the one off the top of the 8-foot. Still not in a bad situation. You open on that side up. So, the good thing is no matter what on your next shot, you're going to have a shot to score one.
I agree, yeah. And what's key here now for Holly is to ensure that whatever shot Team Douglas has is as highest degree of difficulty as it can be.
their tap is the only thing they'll have. So same weight.
So you're looking to maybe put this one,
Eliminate that tap.
kind of top four on the button.
They have the tap. We're trying to
Do you
limit
try
it.
to block the tap here, or do you just let Rebecca just
Little
play it
less,
for the one? 'Cause
Hannah.
it's a very difficult tap.
I
Yeah.
agree. I would totally give her the tap all day. You heard Holly say that. Let her throw the intern tap, and basically there's only so much room for error at that point. So if you put another one in here right on top four, you're putting a ton of pressure on your opposition
Yep.
skip in the first end of the game.
Whoa.
Sweepers just clean this one in. Weight looks fine. Line's pretty good.
Whoa.
Georgia will finish it off, and it'll come to the button, and it'll sit right over the pin. So currently sitting 4 is Team Hafeli without the hammer, but
I actually think that was a bit of a missweep or
Only coming down that way,
miscommunication
though.
there, Jordan. They would have loved to, I think, have kept that one up just a little bit, maybe a foot shorter on the top four. Rebecca could even look at that if she wanted to and just come to the face and potentially only give up a steal of one, or she can make a very difficult shot with the chance of either scoring or giving up a lot more.
and I think with Team Hafeli there, they made this shot for Rebecca a lot easier.
I agree.
I think.
I totally
yeah,
agree.
Now you allow Rebecca to
felt a
play some
little bit
weight at
full
this
when
because
I
you
let
have
go.
back, and if you sit top four, Rebecca's going to have to make a perfect tap to the button.
Exactly.
And here she can afford to be heavy as long as you hit it in the right place. You're going to make a good shot here.
I totally agree. Just a little bit of a oversweep, I think, on that one.
We kept it close. Really nice. Against four.
So it's the final rock here in the
They're already sitting.
first end for Team Douglas, and a big one here for Rebecca facing 4 blues.
No, it'll catch.
You're trying to get your one as long as they, like the most they'll want to give up.
only thing this can't do is over curl, and so she needed to ensure that she took tons of ice, and I think that's exactly what it's going to do.
And she will go to the inside, and she will roll, but it will roll out, and it'll be a steal of 4 for Team Hafeli here in the first end of the 2020 BC Junior Provincial Championships.
Miles ago, champ.
Shouldn't we be going faster?
Nah, with Bel Air Direct, you can save money on your optional car insurance by driving safely.
Up to 25%. Slow and steady, champ.
Save up to 25% for safe driving on your optional car insurance with Bel Air Direct.
This isn't just a beer. This is a double-aged, never-back-down, full-of-heart Western beer. This is a beer brewed by 16 guys who risked it all. Original 16. Underdogs since 1989.
No.
Okay.
Bring it back, bring it back. Bring it back really hard. Yeah, all the way back, all the way back. Yes, out. Would rather have it out. That's fine, Nat.
When you say back, I leave it. When you say out, I mean just leave it.
Oh, I didn't know what.
Your heat pump.
That's not mine. But I didn't know if you had
Mine's
if it
close.
was gonna stop or not.
That's
Yeah.
end number 2 here in the Victoria Curling Club, draw number 3 of the
Yeah, we don't want to give them anything to
2020
sit on.
BC Junior Provincial Curling Championships. Jordan Kiss here with you alongside Melissa Saligo. Team Hafeli with a steal of 4 in the first end, and the first rock for Team Douglas comes up short.
Same thing, Nat.
And I want to just go back to that last stone in the first end, Jordan. You know, we've talked about, briefly talked about how much this ice curls and how fast it is, and you almost can't take enough ice, and so when you know you have a lot of tolerance
Just gotta make
on
sure
your
it's
shot,
there.
you want to make sure that you take that extra 4 or 5 inches of ice, and let your sweepers
Yeah,
do
get
the
it as
work.
close as
So
you can then. It's fine. Nice try, Nat. Don't worry.
So rock for Team Hafeli, and Natalie Hafeli will come to the center line, acting as a guard here for Team Douglas. But the good news for Team Douglas is that it is only the first end. You still have 9 ends to go.
exactly.
And now, of course, we're used to these 8-end games, but that 10th end, even though it's 2 extra ends, it's so much more time to play and get back in this game.
Yeah, and that's the key here for Team Douglas right now. They don't need
Where's
to
Wayne?
think they
Yeah.
have to score 3 or
Hard
4.
line.
They only need to score a deuce here, get back in this game early, and just work their way back and get some confidence back.
Nice split. Nice.
There we go.
So a little bit of an over curl there for Team Douglas. Lead Bella Higdon.
Yep. Hard line. Hard line, girls. Okay,
Team
stay
Hafeli
good.
going to trying to go around, but it is light.
Joe.
So we'll leave a double corner guard. So for Team Douglas, a couple rocks that they can use.
So next shot probably. Yeah. They're coming underneath the double.
Lane and Ryan Chess.
5.
Are we still on
a
a?
run though. As long as
We're
we
on
don't
to second
the
stones.
peels
A little tight.
Okay, so peel the next one. Yeah.
Yep. Hard line.
So one of the things I'm
the
probably
roll.
going to harp on
Hard.
quite a bit over the course of this week, Jordan, is that you have to ensure that you take enough ice no matter what in order to
Think this is the shot.
get by guards by 6,
just
8,
normal.
10, 12 inches because we know they're going to finish.
And it's still early on for these teams too. It's only their second game, but is there a certain point in the week where you want to have the ice figured out by?
Honestly, you should have it
Really hard.
pretty much figured out by the first draw.
Hey,
You've
whoa,
had
whoa.
a pre-competition practice, and you've had time
No,
on every
no,
single
no, no.
sheet to throw all the rocks.
That's fine.
And then you also have a pre-game
Just
practice
tight
of 9
release
minutes.
there. Nice try though.
So in all honesty,
Good throw.
that's what you need to do, is you need to be
Good throw.
figuring out the ice during that time, and it
Yeah, I
won't
didn't know they
change
were gonna
much
be
during
open.
the
We were
course
gonna
of
plan on
the
peeling
week.
or
It'll,
trying to
you know,
run.
it might
But
have a little bit less pro, but it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, we should have peeled. Even rolled under, like hit and rolled under or something. We had to peel our own out, I think, right?
So another chance for the come around draw here for Team Douglas, and this one is through the hole. Now where is it gonna sit? And it will sit behind the back line, so we'll be out of play.
So an opportunity missed there for Team Douglas.
So now Team Hafeli, they're just going to teal their own rock.
Yeah, there's a lot of rocks in play right now, and with a 4-point lead, you definitely don't need those up there.
And they'll get a couple out of the way.
That's fine, Joe.
But
Good
they
shot.
will still leave 2 corner guards for Team Douglas to use.
You just brought it full to the brim there, but that's fine.
Now Team Douglas qualifying, of course, out of the island, getting the A spot, defeating Team Richards in the A qualifier 7-6.
So Team Douglas needs a pretty big shot here. They want to get one fully buried in behind that corner guard. Put some pressure on your opposition. This one looks like it's curling pretty quick here.
And looks a little light as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
And again, will bounce off the
You wanna come
guard.
under now?
Now Team Hafeli, you could, some teams up for in the situation will, maybe play a double PO, but Team Hafeli may be discussing just maybe coming
Let's clear
around.
theirs then.
Yeah, I think maybe one more peel wouldn't hurt you.
Now, would you try for a double peel here, or is it a single peel just as
I would
fine?
actually try for the double peel on the outside red one, and if you miss the second one, that's okay because it's a tight center.
Yeah, this way there is.
There we go.
You want to try that? I like that.
So it's a
Same weight as last.
Georgia Capitco.
Capitco.
Tomato, tomato.
Yep.
She's now throwing the third rocks here. I believe earlier in the season she was throwing second.
Hard, yes. Okay, well,
So she made the
Really hard
decision
roll.
from the hack
Hard roll,
to
hard roll.
play the double peel.
not bad.
Oops.
And that one's going to prove
Okay,
a little
good weight,
costly
though.
right now. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
Two
that's
center
what
guards
I
here
called,
for
that's what I called first,
Team
though.
Douglas.
She liked the peel. Well, we're trying to limit them to one, right? Make sure they don't have anything to come under.
And Brooke Reinchess,
My first one will do that. I'll see
the
where
last
this one
of
is.
the third
If not,
stones
we
in
have
the
to
second
run.
end.
Even if we miss that, we have the peel. And they look really up here.
It looks like it has quite a bit of weight. I know the sweepers are letting Rebecca know that, but
This is right through. Right through.
And again, this one is heavy. And it will slide out of the rings. That's 3 opportunities in a row where
It's like right there.
Team Douglas hasn't been able to convert on the come-around draw.
Yeah.
and that's huge Jordan, you know, if your team's not, the opposition's not going to give you a lot of opportunities, and when they do, you really need to try and take advantage of them. I think Brooke might have been playing the tap on that one, and maybe just threw the little extra bit of weight, but unfortunately for her, it was right through the ring. So now Team Hafeli is just going to try and get one into the rings here and put some pressure back on Team Douglas.
So they're going to go the other way, which bury behind their own.
Yeah. Natalie, clean.
We'll let you see to where this rock ends up before I share my thought.
Natalie!
Again, this one is getting close to the guards and will bounce off.
Sorry, girls.
Will create some
just tight on that
separation
one.
and eliminate the
No, that
staggered
would've been
guards.
fine.
But
I
another
was just
opportunity here for Team Douglas as Rebecca heads down
I was
to
tight.
throw
I was
her first
probably
rock.
right
come
here
around
from where
draw.
your ring was.
So Rebecca would really like to get a skips deuce here. So if she can put a good one in on her first one and try and get a miss out of Team Hafeli, then there's a chance. So really important here to try and find her draw weight, try and get some confidence back with the team.
I think that would have been at least top eight, though.
Yeah, it almost looks like right now that Team Douglas is a little shaken up from that first end.
I agree.
Not as much as my normal one.
But as you mentioned, there's still 9 ends to go, or 8.5. And really important to try and score here in the second end. You can hear the brushers just saying this one's a little heavy again, but line looks not too bad.
Weight's a little better. It's gonna come up to the top of the 8 foot. But it will remain open here for Team Hafeli. It is, not fully open, but you got enough to hit it.
Yeah, it looks like you can see enough of that one. Maybe, 3/4, 7/8?
Yeah, you can see almost all of it.
That's fine. Don't worry, we would have had
Most likely not going to be able to roll behind
almost all of
the
it. We're just
guards,
throwing
but
normal. What?
this shot, just make it go away. If you roll out, that's all right. Of course, you want to stick in the rings here.
I think you just roll out. And you heard Holly say, just throw normal here. Just get rid of it. The key is if you get rid of it, they'll never get 2.
Yep.
Or they'll try maybe the quick split, but it'll be tough for 2.
So they're on and out of her hands. And they will get by, and they will hang on in the 12 foot.
We had a little bit of room, and then it started curling a lot more.
9-4, that was not normal, but it still
No, I came out with like 12, that's why.
So,
When you
blank
come out with 12, you gotta
opportunity,
do the
and
big extension.
Rebecca kind of figuring out where to put the broom out here on the wings.
Yeah, maybe, but. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, it started finishing when I called off, so good thing you kept it on. Because we only skinny the guard by like that much.
So last rock here in end number 2 for Team Douglas, a blank opportunity to take the hammer once more to the third end.
Yes!
And they're on it right away.
Yeah, because then we got the hammer.
And it will roll out, so the blank is made, and Team Douglas will take the hammer to the third end. So after 2 ends here in Victoria, Team Hafeli with a 4-0 lead over Team Douglas.
My hearing isn't that bad.
Stop making excuses and do something about your hearing loss. Connect Hearing offers solutions that are discreet, reliable, and cost-effective. Book your free hearing test today.
fine, Nat.
So that was a 14. It's probably 14.5-ish. I think it is. Just by a little bit. Because we didn't use that side first end. We used that side a bit more. Hold tight! So it might be a little bit quicker. You're not coming down quite like. Yeah. Over and off!
Same shot, Nat. It's about a 15, I think. Whoa!
Back here inside the Victoria Curling Club, it's draw number 3 of the 2020 BC Junior Provincials. 8 sheets here at the Victoria Curling Club. 6 are being used this week, and we'll go right through the games here on this Sunday morning draw over on sheet A. It is a big one on the women's side early on. Team Daniels versus Team Richards. Team Daniels 2-0, Richards 1-0. On sheet B, it's Team Ballard versus Team Caldwell. Another battle of no, that's not true. Team Ballard losing their first game last night on the last rock to a Team Sato. Team Caldwell currently 2-0. Of course, we are on sheet C. Over on sheet D, men's action, it's Team Carpenter versus Team Parkinson. Those two are looking for their first wins. Over on sheet number E, letter E. It's not number E. Letter E. It's Team Calhoun versus Team Bowles, and sheet F, Team Tao versus Team Sato. Of course, our feature matchup, Team Douglas versus Team Hafeli. Team Hafeli with a 4-0 lead after the 4-ender in end number 1. Team Douglas with the hammer. Jordan Kiss with Melissa Saligo. So Hannah O'Neill now for Team Hafeli.
Bring it through then, Nat. Well, you're right to this one.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It started curling up, and I was like, I don't think you're going to get it past.
Freeze to their own at the back of the 8-foot. Team Douglas does have the corner guard, and you know, Melissa being behind the tee line, those aren't super threatening stones. Is it just, you know, play the guard again once more, even though you're on second rocks?
So you've made a conscious decision to throw a corner guard, and you're down 4, Jordan. And the last thing you want to do is hit, right? You need to try and generate some points, and you've thrown that corner guard, so you've got to ignore these stones in the back of the rings and throw the come around.
Yes!
There's absolutely zero reason to go for those rocks right now in the back of the rings. They are doing you no harm. They're actually helping you.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Those rocks you can freeze on. So they will hit and separate them, and one will hang on the back 12.
You like other one? Normal?
So Team Hafeli just going to hit the open one.
No! No! Yep! Yep! Whoa!
So if Team Hafeli noses this one, Jordan, I'd really like to see Team Douglas come around that corner guard. They put it there for a reason. Let's try and use it. Do not need to hit these rocks right now.
I think you were.
They are going to play the double. It seems like maybe they're just maybe just a little paranoid after that first end of like having all these blues in the house.
Yeah, and I can see that point for sure, but you got to try and generate at least a deuce here in the third end. Even if you tap it back, right? Even if you just play a tap, you definitely don't want to throw a hit here.
To do everything. Yeah. Hard. Hard.
Because number one is you want to retain your shooter in the ring somewhere.
I will roll to the back the 4.
Normal!
So jam, there is a jam possibility, but of course, you know, they're still junior level U18, and they're still, you know, nobody's perfect with strategy, but there's still a lot to learn for these teams.
No, no,
For sure, I agree. I just think that
no. We stay off
that's kind
it.
of a key one where you know you're down
Net.
points and you need to generate something.
it a
You
few
want
swipes.
rocks in play. That's the key, right? You want rocks in play
Good shot.
to try and get some jams or make and increase the difficulty of the opposition in their shots. Right now they're playing open hits for you against you.
Just normal.
So I'm going to play the hit once more. Probably make a double out of this. Again, a hit and roll still there, but that is a very long corner guard. And as you said, Melissa, earlier, very tough to hide behind anything on this ice.
Definitely. You want your guards a little bit tighter, but again, there is the opportunity.
Hard. Hard.
You've got that great corner. You want to try and use it.
They will remove one of the blue stones. And be another open hit here for Team Hafeli and Georgia Capicco.
Yep. Whoa, whoa! Natalie! Natalie! My bad there, Joe. 8-9 though.
So they will hit and roll out.
8-9.
It's a great opportunity here again, Jordan, to draw around that corner guard. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
There we go. She's been listening, I think.
Or do you want to take it out?
Oh, maybe not.
Oh, no.
Well, they're going to like to play the hit.
I was just asking because Georgia said you guys almost were like, a few times were like, oh wait, am I supposed to go down?
Yeah! Yes, yes! 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 Okay,
Comes
well.
back, we'll sit on it, hey?
So they are going to play the come around here. And it is behind the corner. So it does the job.
Doesn't matter.
But it is at the back, the 12 foot. And, you know, a hack waiter here for
We got
Hafeli
a
might be
sit
the
shot.
call.
Let's just, they have the double. Let's try to it. Like, you want to be top though? I like being top. Yeah.
And what I don't even mind about that shot, Jordan, is that even though it went to back 12, if Holly freezes on it, it gives you that same opportunity to freeze to make your shot even better. So I think that's a really good shot, and I'm glad to see that she
a bit of it if we want to smack it, we can.
played that. I mean, obviously it would have been better top 12 for sure, so this opportunity wasn't there, but it at least still creates an opportunity for Team Douglas. Team Hafeli is playing fantastic right now. They are making all of their shots really close, so putting a ton of pressure on Team Douglas.
It's there. Whoa. It's through.
Now they're saying it's heavy and probably through.
Do you want to touch it ever?
Down. We couldn't have Natalie on that at all? Just to make it to move even?
And I will set back 12 for third shot. But now here's the opportunity that Team Douglas has been waiting for in this end.
Okay.
Gonna have to sit two behind the guard.
Just top 8. Okay.
And the tolerance on this is very key here, Jordan, is to make sure that you are on the lighter side. You want to be in the top half of the house.
Fudge nuggets.
So where exactly would you
my new word.
want this rock, Melissa?
I think if you could put it even, maybe just shore a little bit of a piece, but anywhere atop and above the tee line, you're going to be in a good position. to score at least one and set yourself up for a potential deuce here. Line is almost more important than weight, because you want to make sure that you're 3/4 buried for sure, so that she can't hit and stick.
Remember, it's actually coming down this way. It's a lot faster.
This one looks like I got by the guard by a ton.
They gotta be touching.
See it finishing up at the end here, and looks like it's going to be second.
Yeah, I think that's
pretty
pretty
close.
good.
Do you think we can?
I mean, you can see quite a bit of it for sure, but she's still
If not,
setting
we can
herself
draw
up for a
again.
potential deuce, and that's key.
I thought the red rock was shot rocked at back
Oh,
12.
I'm
but
sorry, it
yeah,
isn't.
yeah, no,
You're
it
right.
is. The blue is shot rock.
Let's hit it. Yeah, hit and roll.
But still, nonetheless, I think that is the right call. You do have backing
agree.
in there as well.
You might have a chance for a double for 2, or if she happens to roll out, you'll have an open hit for 2.
Is that first shot? Yeah. Little less. Less. That's good.
The final rock for Holly Hafeli and her team.
Yeah. Whoa!
Natalie working on this one to try and get it to curl.
But it will roll out. So give Rebecca the opportunity to get her deuce
I gave a
here
little
in
push
3.
at the end there, hand. Did you get my time? No. It was a bit up. I think I gave it a too big of a push. Was I a little wide? It's not rolling off of that side then.
Just nose.
She's only getting one, so.
No, just normal. Yeah.
I think she's throwing down weight so she gets it, but it might overcurl too much.
So it sounds like she's throwing normal weight, and you can just see the amount of ice that she's taking for this shot.
Yeah.
She does have, if she happens to overcurl it, Jordan, there is a little bit of a backing there for her. So if anything, you want to be on the right-hand side of the rock.
Now there is, a blue double that can save you.
Hard!
You just need to hit it on the nose, and they're on it right out of her hand.
Whoa!
They should maybe stop sweeping that, though. They kind of jumped it a little bit early.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Will hit, and they will roll out. So just be a score of 1 for Team Douglas here in the third end. They'll trail by 3 points, 4-1 for Team Hafeli here in Victoria.
Miles ago, champ.
Shouldn't we be going faster?
Nah, with Bel Air Direct, you can save money on your optional car insurance by driving safely.
Up to 25%. Slow and steady, champ.
Save up to 25% for safe driving on your optional car insurance with Bel Air Direct.
This isn't just a beer. This is a double-aged, never-back-down, full-of-heart Western beer. This is a beer brewed by 16 guys who risked it all. Original 16. Underdogs since 1989.
Line's close. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Right here, Nat. Yep. 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 Keep going. Okay, leave it. I don't know what to do with this one. It's fine, Nat.
Just top 4.
And number 4 here in Victoria, sheet number C, the 2020 BC Junior Provincial Curling Championships. Women's action draw number 3 here. Team Hafeli with a 4-1 lead. Jordan Kiss alongside Melissa Saligo. And thank you for joining us and kind of bearing with us as we figure out our audio issues. It's been a very busy 2 days here for us.
No.
And
Bella,
very stressful morning as we were trying to finalize everything to get it ready for this draw. But glad we can bring coverage here to you of round robin action. Of course, we'll be bringing coverage throughout all week, including 2 more games later on today.
Right there. Unless you want to peel. I don't mind that. Okay. It's got to be about a 14 on this side.
So, Team Hafeli throwing the blue rocks. They're going to play the come around on the staggered guards.
Nat, stay close. Wait only. Wait only.
So an opportunity
Georgia's wrong.
missed there by
Wait only,
Team
girls, wait only.
Douglas. They had the opportunity for 2.
Right there.
And unfortunately just hit and rolled out.
Nat, I just said stay close. You didn't have to be on it, okay?
Good season.
Just T-line.
It's fine. That side's tricky. You've made draws on the other side, but this turn is just tricky. No. This is
So a
tricky
chance
on that
to
side.
play
It's
come
like
around, a
this-
little
this
freeze
side's
here
really
for
coming.
Team Douglas.
Like it's keen. This side is.
Yeah, if they can put this right on the top of that one, they'll be in really good shape.
Yes. Hard. Hard. Hard, Bella. Hard. Okay, well.
Great shot.
And we'll come tap the blue one back. And Team Hafeli does have the hammer for the first time in this game. This is game 2 of 7 here for both these teams. 8-team round robin. Top 3 teams will make the playoffs. Tiebreakers if necessary. The top team will get a direct bye to the final, which will be on Thursday. Wednesday? What, Thursday the 2nd?
I should have called on just a little bit later.
I've lost track. I've lost track of the days of the week since
I
Christmas.
think finals are on the 2nd, which
They're
is
on the 2nd.
Thursday.
They're on the 2nd. That's the important thing.
Let's call it Thursday.
It's been weird. I don't really know what day it really is.
We have to appeal our own.
It is Sunday, but it doesn't feel like a Sunday. Does
No,
it, Melissa? No,
absolutely not.
It's that weird time between Christmas and New Year's. You don't know what's happening.
We just know where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, we just know where we're supposed to be, and we're here inside the Victoria Curling Club. It's the 2020 BC Junior Provincial Championships presented by Best Western, the official hotel of Curl BC.
Over and off. Whoa.
It looks like Team Douglas was going to try and play the come around, but they are going to be light. But we'll have the 2 guards up there.
Or do we like peel? I think we gotta get here.
I'm wondering, Jordan, if they could actually maybe play backline weight and try and just even tap that one a little bit. Even just tap it out into the open to access it later, because they've got those other 2 blue stones in the back of the 12-foot. And you're probably thinking at this point, can we bring them into play?
No, absolutely.
Clean it. Whoa. Wait
Team
only,
Hafeli does have the
girls.
hammer, and sometimes in a situation like this, you kind of forget that you do have the hammer when you're drawing, freezing
Exactly.
the back T line.
So it does have the tap weight if they can get to it.
Hard, 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 hard.
Hard, Nat. Hard, hard, hard.
That's a fabulous shot.
That's pretty good.
We'll bump it for second shot there in the 8-foot. This Team Hafeli sitting 1.
I don't like
This is a good call by Rebecca. She maybe thought at first to freeze to that one, but because you're sitting second shot, you want to be line 2 after the end of Brooke's shot here. So I like the hit, the bump. Try and keep your shooter in play in line 2.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Close. Stay close. Hard, Delana. Hard, Delana. Any roll.
So you will get a slight roll, but will remain partially open there on
How
the
much
button.
can you see? Normal. Try to just punch it into that.
Looks like they stuffed red double. It is there, but looks like Team Hafeli can get to the inside.
Oh!
Yeah, I think she's trying to play it thin here.
Natalie for a piece. No, it's not anything.
And this will slide on by. So a big mistake there, and Team Douglas
Just a guard.
with the advantage as we
Gave it a little bit
make
of
our
a-
way to skip rocks.
Here.
She like went like this and then she kind of just.
Okay.
That's fine. Just gotta make sure we get our 2 this end.
So it looks like they're maybe just playing a straight guard on this one.
They are,
Top
yeah.
12.
Guard.
Or they're drawing.
So I didn't notice where the ice was for the guard a couple of rocks
Mine will
ago.
get there, but we were- She was a little bit up, tapped her back, and they got it.
But you want to make sure that you take that little
It's
extra
fine.
bit of ice
We'll
and
get
let
it
your
next
sweepers
time.
finish it.
Okay.
Now we just gotta make sure our one's in there.
And I think, Jordan, because that rock is just back T-line, like back button, probably a tighter guard might be a little better here than a high guard. You don't want to give Team Hafeli an access to it at all.
No, absolutely. You want to make that shot for Team Hafeli as hard as possible. Right now, you have a good chance to steal, and Holly has to, right now, draw to the pin. Side of the
Exactly.
pin to be exact, which is not an easy task.
And you've got those other 2 rocks, so you just want to make sure there's not a rock width between them, and you're going to be in good shape.
Good sweep.
Yeah, that's all we have right there. Even if we're here, they're gonna be tempted to hit it. Yeah, right where she put it.
So you see the lineup there. It's a pretty good guard. It might have been better being about
Just
2,
gonna draw
3
right
feet
to it. Even
tighter.
if we're half open on 4, it's fine. We'll
It
have
looks like there
something
is
to
still
do.
room for
They'll probably
Holly
guard it up, but they'll probably be tempted
to
hit it too,
come in there, tap weight back 4 and
so. Ish, yeah.
sit for shot rock.
This is the only thing we have unless we want to peel to try to give myself a shot, but I think this is the only thing we have. If we have to, we can run maybe theirs.
You heard that conversation, Jordan. The other option, of course, was the double peel, trying to expose a little bit more of that blue stone, but it does give them, the red stone, but it does give them another option of throwing a perfect guard. It would allow you to run your blue one in if you needed to, though, because if you miss this now,
Natalie's
you're
rock.
pretty much guaranteeing yourself a steal.
Wait only, whoa!
So a lot of pressure on this one shot.
They get by, and they will make contact, and we'll sit there at the
Great
top
shot.
of the button. That is a fantastic shot for
Yeah, super shot
Holly.
by Holly. Good pressure shot. Sets herself up for a potential score this end.
So, like,
And almost the same thing here for Rebecca. I think really just a little tighter to the guard, back 4 away, try to get to nose, and
We're still sitting.
you can
I don't think
probably
we can
sit 2 after this.
good.
Or we hit and roll to get our 1.
These are one of the discussions, too, that you have to look at it 2 ways here. You can actually just freeze to this blue stone and just completely block off the scoring zone so she can only get her single. If you play this shot and for any reason roll out to the open, you're probably setting yourself up to give up a score of 2. So you have to look at it that way as well.
I don't think I could do that even. because the miss was.
So it's the final shot for Rebecca Douglas and her team here in the fourth end, down by 3.
We might have it.
That tolerance it should be on the lighter side here, but the brushers haven't laid a broom to it yet.
We might just bump off of it a bit.
Trying to get it to curl.
They're trying to
Looks like they might be able to play that freeze you were kind of thinking of, Melissa, and does leave the Blue Rock shot still, but not an easy path to the button here for Holly for 2.
I think that's a great shot. I know it's not exactly what Rebecca wanted, but I think that's a fantastic plan B and make it super difficult for Holly to have to get her deuce. And if you force them, yeah, you don't want to give up a point, but that's okay. You get hammer back, and then you can try and score your deuce again and try and climb back into the game.
It looks like that there's just enough room here to come in and draw to the button.
They didn't have enough weight to get ours.
We're working things out here, folks.
Just for the record, that was Jordan using a telestrator, not me.
Yeah, that was me, yeah. Mar's still working hard to get a new telestrator. Things are going to get better.
On telestrator,
yes. That wasn't my fault.
That's the cameraman.
That's the cameraman there. Hafeli realizing they're no shot there, so they're just going to throw it through. So they'll take their single point here in 4. They'll have a 5-1 lead over Team Douglas going into end number 5 here in Victoria at the 2020 BC Junior Championships.
My hearing isn't that bad.
Stop making excuses and do something about your hearing loss. Connect Hearing offers solutions that are discreet, reliable, and cost-effective. Book your free hearing test today.
You got it. Bring it in. Bring it in. You got it. That was about a 15-8. Great shot, Nat. Good sweep, girls.
Back here inside the Victoria Curling Club, end number 5 between Team Hafeli and Team Douglas. Team Hafeli with a 5-1 lead. Team Douglas will have the hammer. On the update on the other games going on over on Sheet A, it's Team Daniels versus Team Richards. Team Daniels has a 3-0 lead, but they just wrapped up the 4th end, and we'll give you a score update once that becomes available. Sheet B, Team Caldwell versus Team Bow. They are tied at 2 as they play 4. Sheet number 3, Team Carpenters up 4-0 over Team Parkinson as they are in the 4th end as well. Sheet E, Team Calhoun versus Team Bulls. Team Calhoun has a 2-1 lead as they play 5. And Sheet F, it's Team Sato with a 5-0 lead over Team Tau. I am Jordan Kiss. I am alongside Melissa Saligo. We're in our first
That looks like a lot more, no?
game here on Curl BC TV.
She slid out with a lot more.
There's Natalie Hafeli throws.
Can we get you to bring it? No, Georgia.
And a much better corner guard this time by Bella, so Team Douglas can look to use that one. I know that there's one sitting top 8 right now. You got to make the decision whether you want to just tap it back or just completely ignore it at this point and go right around your corner guard.
So they're going to throw a second corner guard here. Bella Higdon, the lead for Team Douglas. A quick update, Sheet A was a score of 1 for Team Richards in the 4th end. They now trail Team Daniels 3-1 as they play 5.
Oh! Okay. Bring it in then. As far as you can. Hard. Okay, that's good.
So the second corner is made. Doesn't look like it's in play. Of course, 5-rock rule is in effect. Team Hafeli going to place one right on top of their own.
And by throwing that second
curling,
corner,
see it.
I don't mind that at all. But you have to be prepared at some point that you need to play a double.
Yeah.
Right, you got to be able to throw the double, preferably a good hit and roll. Now that you've thrown the second corner guard.
Joe. Just bring it down to this one. It's fine. That was a 13-9. It just needs to be 14, I think. 14-5.
So they will play a
Control.
little tap. I think really it's almost a pretty good result for Team Douglas there. So they have 2 opposing rocks behind the tee line. Now you can remove this one and roll behind your corner guard and be sitting quite nice.
I didn't see the weight call, but you don't need to throw a ton of weight on this, I don't think, Jordan. I think you could throw that back line weight, and it doesn't really matter where the blue one goes. It's all about the shooter here and ensuring the shooter stays in play, and I think this one's going to roll out. But it's really key to ensure that your shooter stays in play there. That was the #1 goal.
And of course, these are Curl BC rocks, so still quite near, a couple years old, but they're still got a lot of action off them.
Top 4, yep.
The good news for Team Douglas is those rocks are behind the tee line, so there will be some opportunities later in the end to hopefully use them.
Keep going, girls. You got it.
But you can just see Team Hafeli right now, right on their game, and just putting the rocks in really good positions.
Just keep going. Okay, whoa. That's fine, girls. Good sweep.
Yeah, I had a softer release on that one. That's fine.
That will come to the center line. Leaves the high guard.
I almost think we should have hit and rolled on that one.
And
but I
a
didn't
chance
know.
for Team Douglas to
Oh yeah, we could have hit.
play
we could've
around
hit
the
that
corner.
way. So yeah, we probably could have done that.
You just look at that view right now. It's it looks pretty tedious to get in there, hey, behind.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that doesn't look pretty.
No.
it just doesn't look right.
So you can almost play the tap on your red one. That might be a little bit easier than trying to get around. Or maybe now it's time to go to play to the center. But I don't mind this call at all.
Yep.
I think maybe that's what she is doing. Is playing the tap.
Yep.
Yep, and they will tap it. We'll see how far it goes, and it will be there for second shot. But it is open here for Georgia. And a hit and roll towards the middle.
No! No! Yep! Yep! Sorry, it didn't move. It didn't move at the start there, Joe. Sorry about that.
So it will come to nose, but that's not a terrible result because it blocks off that entire side of the sheet for Team Douglas.
Yeah, I think that was a great shot, actually. It ended up in a very good position. So you can see Rebecca trying to decide what to do at this point. I don't think they can draw around that. Yeah, she's going to either have to look at hitting or just ignore it altogether, like we said earlier, and maybe go around the center guard. But it looks like she's elected to play the hit and roll. Pretty much one of the toughest shots in this game, I think. Hey, Jordan?
No, absolutely. You always say it is the hardest shot 'cause you have to be perfect. Communication needs to be great between the person in the house and the sweepers of the weight.
Whoa!
This one needs to move to make some contact. And it will go right on by. So chance for Team Hafeli to play it come around.
Look up! Look up, girls! Hannah's raw. Hannah. Hannah. Hannah, you got it. Go hard. Go hard.
Pretty much much the tolerance on this one, Jordan, is anywhere above the tee line is going to be a great shot. And put a ton of pressure on Team Douglas.
And that is a
quiet right as
beautiful
I
shot
saw
from
that.
Georgia. Top
Never
of
had
the
that
8
many
foot.
pieces left in me to do that. That was a 15 too.
Looks
So-
like there might be room to
So-
draw, but they're going to elect to
I didn't know I had that much
play the peel.
Yeah.
You better. It's the second day of competition.
I think the only way you potentially score 2 is probably making the draw on Brooks' second one here, but I get why Rebecca is doing this and trying just to open it up a little bit, give herself an opportunity to hit the 4 foot. You really want to score here, obviously.
It does open up the corner guards as well to draw in if you're able to, but they're gonna run some blues in and get one off the 4 foot.
Great
That's a
shot.
pretty good result. Brooke Reinchess, a nice double.
We can go right here. Yeah. Make
Team
it so they
Hafeli,
can't.
they're
Oh, no,
looking
last.
to
Last. That's good.
kind of interested in a predicament
Just
here.
trying to
'cause,
draw to where we're half open.
Yeah.
you know, you're gonna leave, Team Douglas with the hit and roll no matter where you put it in the house, but you don't also want to leave a guard either. Do you just go
top,
behind
yeah.
the corner guard and
That's
maybe
where we
top
call
4
top
foot?
12, just half under.
You want to
even
figure out what
writing
the
8.
best way is to put the most pressure on, and
So
the
your
2
last one
options
was
you
a
just
15
said
too,
are
that's the perfect weight,
really
so-
good, right? We've already determined that the hit and roll is pretty tough, so I would almost come to about the center line, maybe half tuck around that red one, so they can't get a hit and roll under, because if they get a hit and roll under, you'll never access it. So you want to ensure they have to play a shot that
Yep.
you'll have access to it on your next one.
Look
Leaving it
there.
wide open might not be that
Nat,
option.
Yep. Hard, Nat. Yep. Hard.
So this is
Great
gonna
brushing
come
to
up
get
to
it in.
yeah,
Girls.
top of the 12 foot.
That's a pretty good shot. They dragged that a long way.
Just need
Now
to
it
become a
forces
hair
Rebecca
deeper.
to have to make a pretty crucial draw here.
Yeah.
That's important draw,
We can
Oh,
draw to it if they draw.
Blue Rock's still partially open there for Holly to tap if she needs to on her last one. So not a lot of room to hide here for Rebecca.
Top 8? Yeah.
As long as we limit them. I almost think we could have even drawn top 4 there.
So it's her first rock here in the 5th end. Of course, after this end is completed, there will be a 5-minute break for the curlers and for us. Have a look at the break there, and so Rebecca is in the hack getting ready to throw.
What? Oh yeah, after this. Woo. We have 25 minutes left after that many ends that we played. Let's do 25. She's a
No.
little bit tight on this, but she looks good.
The sweepers are on and off it here early on, but again, it just looks like it needs to curl up for them.
Unless this comes down.
There's got to be some communication on this one, Jordan. If it's not doing what it's supposed to do, you got to try a plan B. But it's now making its bust its move there. If they can get this 3/4 buried, it's going to be in great position. What great weight by Rebecca.
That's a great all-around shot from the
Awesome
sweepers and
shot.
everybody. No, perfect shot by Rebecca. A lot of pressure on that one. Top 4. It is buried behind the blue.
So what?
Although looks like Holly might be able to get a piece of it.
I can't see a ton of it. Yeah. I can't
How much can
a
you
ton
see
of
there,
it.
Jordan? Can you see the line?
You can see enough to hit it.
Let's throw hack.
Let's just throw hack, Hannah, a little bit more.
I'm saying hack weight, and as you said,
Yeah.
Melissa, it is curling
curl
enough,
a lot,
especially
so.
at the end, that you can. It's definitely a makeable shot, right? You just make it go away, and then Rebecca has
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this weight call better. She originally called normal, but when she got down to the hack, only could see such a small piece that you want to make sure you're throwing weight that has some movement to it so that the sweepers can
Whoa, whoa.
manage it as well as they can.
Gotta curl.
Now this one is out
Hard,
there.
Joe. You're not on it. Whoa, whoa.
This is right on
That's
by.
okay. I
I popped it wide when I wobbled.
Yeah, see her Holly there. She a little wobble out of the hack there, and she said she popped it wide, and it was the difference on that shot. So it's a draw for 2 for Rebecca and her team here in 5.
What was my weight? But when you pop it wide on that side, it stays out.
Piece of the forefoot here will do the job.
Yeah, I wobbled a lot there, though. Well, I dropped my knee.
So I see a lot of conversation going on with the front end and Rebecca, and this is so key here, Jordan. You want to throw pretty much the same weight, but you're kind of having to look at those blue stones, knowing that they're back there and that they're there in case you need them. But if you throw the same weight, let the sweepers do the same thing, you're going to be in good shape. Don't want to overthrow it and use the backing right out of the gate.
She made it on her last one. She's trying to make it once more here.
It looks like she's got about 3 inches more ice, which is good.
It does have backing.
She has backing.
They're working really hard on this one. I think it's a little bit lighter than her first. But she's got lots of things to play with there.
You can see it dive towards the middle, trying to get by that top blue.
Oh, maybe she is. Yeah, she got it.
Did they get enough?
Oh, it's close.
It's going to be close. It's 1 for sure.
It's fine, guys. I got 2. Good end. I was just there, though. That was a 15-4. They really dragged it.
It's like Brooks saying it was 2 red. And we'll wait till they put up the score, and it is going to be a score of 2, so the sweepers drag it far enough, and we're halfway through this one here in Victoria at the BC Juniors. Team Hafeli with a 5-3 lead over Team Douglas here. After 5 ends, we'll take a short break, then we'll be right back with more action here from Victoria.
Miles ago, champ.
Shouldn't we be going faster?
Nah, with Bel Air Direct, you can save money on your optional car insurance by driving safely.
Up to 25%. Slow and steady, champ.
Save up to 25% for safe driving on your optional car insurance with Bel Air Direct.
This isn't just a beer. This is a double-aged, never back down, full of heart Western beer. This is a beer brewed by 16 guys who risked it all. Original 16. Underdogs since 1989.
on beautiful Vancouver Island here this week. It's the 2020 BC Junior Provincial Championships from beautiful Victoria. Here at the Victoria Curling Club. Jordan Kiss with you alongside Melissa Saligo as we get set for the sixth end here on this Draw 3 women's action. Team Hafeli with a 5-3 lead over Team Douglas. Team Hafeli will have the hammer here to start us off in the second half, sixth end. It's Bella Higdon, the lead here for Team Douglas.
So great job by Team Douglas in that fifth end, you know, getting their deuce and getting back in the game. That was key for them to get that deuce. So Bella's guard just sneaks into the rings there.
Yeah, you know, that 4 in the first end kind of rattled Team Douglas a little bit. And I think they've finally gotten back to, lost my train of thought, but they've gotten some confidence back now, especially after the fifth end break. They've had a chance to talk to the coach now and kind of regroup a little bit.
Yeah, and they went into that meeting on a positive note, and I think that's really key. And they would have got a lot out of it from their coach, Dave Douglas, to figure out how they're going to do this, you know, play this last 5 and try and keep some pressure on Team Hafeli, who's playing pretty well. Team Hafeli, of course, meeting with their coach, Monica Macker.
Makar. We'll talk to her later. It's fine.
I'll hear about it.
Yeah, well, somebody will tell us.
If I got it wrong, I'll hear about it.
So Team Douglas here going to throw the
Just center.
center guard. Versus Team Douglas. All of them are from the island. Victoria, I guess Gibson's, which is not the island. Sunshine Coast, Gibson's, Duncan, and Victoria Curling Clubs. Well, Team Hafeli from all the way in Kamloops.
That's the guard that Bella was looking for in her first one, so does a good job in her second rock, but that does give Holly and her team an opportunity to try and draw around it.
Top 4. Look
The
up.
goal here for
Look
Team
up.
Douglas obviously is to force Hafeli to a single
Georgia's rock.
point.
Gotta be above T. No. Georgia's rock only.
Some updates on some other games after the fifth end. Sheet B, Team Ballard has a 5-3 lead over Team Caldwell. And all on Sheet D, Team Carpenter up 7-0 over Team Parkinson.
Good sleep, girls. Nice shot, Nat.
And Sheet F,
Just T-line.
Team Sato up 6-2 over Team Tau.
Nice shot by Natalie, but it does sneak behind the T-line there, so an opportunity now for Team Douglas to freeze right on top of it.
We have the back of the button, draw 2. And on Sheet A, Team Daniels up 6-1 over Team Richards and Sheet E. I know it's not 2-2. Or it is 2-2. It is 2-2. Yes, it is. 2-2 between Team Bowles and Team Calhoun. Team Bowles will be in our feature matchup at 2 o'clock as they take on Team Bushy. As that rock from Team Douglas will slide on through. Of course, these teams start with 38 minutes on the clock. At the fifth end break, Team Douglas had about 19 left, and Team Hafeli, I believe it was 22.
So both in pretty good shape.
No, we want to top no matter what.
So looking to keep this one high, but this one keeps on sliding through. Well, not through. It keeps on sliding, and it will just rest there on their own. Still leaving the button open for Team Douglas.
Just sit on it.
So Team Douglas is pretty much all in here, Jordan. They've elected to freeze to it, which I totally get. If they can put a good one in position there, they'll pretty much save this end. But if Delana was heavy on her first one, so tolerance here is to be a little on the lighter side.
Yes, hard line. Yes.
So they will hit their guard. They will split it open.
Right there.
Will open up the center line, but again allows Team Hafeli to get one more into that 4-foot zone. And again, pretty much anywhere that's not heavy, even if you're heavy and tap your own, you're in a good spot here for Team Hafeli.
I totally agree. You put this anywhere, sort of on the left-hand side of the sheet as we look at it.
Yep. Bring it here,
This one looks like it's almost over curling as
Bring
well.
it there. Okay, whoa.
But I think that shot right now is
Hey, bring it
probably
in, bring it
pretty
in.
tough just
It's there,
because of
it's
the
still there.
way the red guard up
That's fine.
on the left-hand side is situated.
Just a hair.
So it's kind of hard to get there. You almost have to throw a little bit more weight now.
Yeah. I
So
tried
trying to
bringing
take a little
bit left.
curl out of
But
the
I didn't know
shot.
how easy it was through there.
That rock did overcurl, but it is still Team Hafeli sitting
Do you wanna
4
sit
with
on
the
it, or-
hammer.
Okay.
I know, but it was just coming around the
Probably
guard,
could
we
throw
had to
maybe
give a
back
little
line.
bit more.
Even Hack
I
can
gave
still
a
get to
little
the
bit less,
nose,
but
I think,
I
Jordan.
did
I think
a little bit
there's,
too
you got a
much,
lot
so
of
I
room
gave
to work with.
a few inches.
I think straight draw just curls too
yeah,
much there.
straight draw is probably not there, but you know a heavy draw should do the job here. And you still have the whole button to draw to
Hold
get to.
tight. Mine's fine. Yes, hard. Both, yep, hard.
If she can buy that blue guard, she's going to be in really good shape here.
This is going to be close. Weight looks there.
Whoa.
Sweeper's working hard.
Right to it. Whoa.
What a fabulous shot by Brooke.
Brooke Reinjess with a absolute pistol.
That was an end saver.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
definitely is an end saver. Right on the tee line, locked in. It's going to take a couple shots for Team Hafeli to get it out.
I think we should do hack though, because we got to make sure that it at least moves a little bit when we touch it.
And it is half open. So, do you
Back line.
throw maybe
back
normal
line.
weight at this, try to move as much as you can in there and loosen that red one up?
Yeah, I heard Holly maybe call, I think she called hack. You definitely want to unlock the blue, at least one blue, but maybe even two blues. Just move them around a little bit, expose that red one a bit. So I kind of like a little bit more weight. I agree with you. And if you happen to hit the top blue one, that's okay too. Get it out of the way.
No. Hannah's way don't. No, not yet. Hannah, you're going to have to try. No, we're not on it. We got the back one, I think.
So this one's going to go by.
That's
We'll
fine.
take the one at the back.
She threw a little bit more. It was a 12-5.
I guess that was one way to unlock it.
Yeah, it helps.
It does.
In a little bit. It's not what you wanted, but it does slightly improve the situation for Team Hafeli. But Team Douglas can throw up the center guard.
So we've seen how much it curls here in this spot, so I would really like to see some excess ice there. You don't want the sweepers to have to
Whoa.
sweep it to keep it straight.
Just a guard.
You want to have them sweep it to curl at the end. So as long as she's taking plenty
Where
of
is
ice, she's
it?
going to be in good shape.
Yep, hard.
This
To
looks
center.
really good.
Hard. Yes. Okay.
And Brooke with two perfect
Nice
shots here
shot.
in 6. First the freeze, then the center guard. And Team Hafeli is chasing here with the hammer.
Do you want to go off the top? We can come this way.
It's almost like for Team Hafeli, that middle one's the issue right now, but it's almost like you have to remove more than one of those
We're probably
red guards.
going over here.
I totally agree, and you almost, there's two different things you can do. You can double peel. You can double peel up here and try and expose those blue stones, even though they're not lined up great for you. Or you can actually run this red one into the pile and try and move those ones as well. That might be your best bet.
Let's try to clear up the front somehow.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jordan. You got to try and move something, more than one.
Yep.
I think we're going with the plan here to try and even move some of those blues around. That's pretty good still.
Sorry.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Looks like it's all
You guys should have
okay.
gone after that. I was supposed to sweep that.
They will, you know,
Yeah.
remove those 2 blue ones at the top there.
It's here.
Or remove one of them, at least separate them. But it's still another center guard here for Team Douglas.
That's fine.
But at least that,
Oh,
as you
no,
say,
it's
it
fine.
got rid of
My
one of the blue ones. It
Natalie
took away the
should've cut it off,
stagger,
so
which
she
was
was following
actually
her off.
going
Guard,
against
yeah,
Team
same
Hafeli
thing.
right now.
I was
And
like,
with that
going
one
up to
just
sweep that, so-
on its own, if there's a miss on Team Douglas' side, then there is an opportunity to use that blue stone.
Even if Rebecca does make this guard, you know, you still have a couple runbacks to work with now. You can go red, blue,
True.
long one if it's there.
Yeah, very true.
But it creates a lot more opportunities for yourself to try to get one. Although almost I'm saying no, maybe to get one in the center, you're gonna have to at least make contact with those 2 in the forefoot on Holly's first shot.
We gotta get something in there. Even if we just tap ours out of the way, they're guarding again.
So Rebecca took pretty much the same
Whoa!
ice as Brooke had, so
I think we have to run.
line should be fairly
Whoa!
close.
Over now!
Unless we do like the run, run, run.
Whoa!
Something like that.
And the higher the better is okay with this one as well. Maybe a little bit of an overcurl, but not too bad.
So the guard is up.
Good sweep.
That's-
It'd be interesting to note if this shot is here, Jordan, running it straight down. I'm not sure if you can get by this guy here to play that shot.
and if she's
into
looking
it,
at
yeah.
it right now.
It's pretty close. You wouldn't save your
If it
shooter,
does,
though.
we're at least
No,
moving
you won't.
something
You
out
won't
of the way.
save it, but there's enough
'Cause
to
I'll
at
probably
least,
roll over there if I hit the 2.
you know, yeah, you can get it into the forefoot and at least,
Yeah.
you know, release the back blue, and you know, if you're lucky, the red will
say 9, hey?
spill out to the right.
We gotta hit just off nose.
She's gonna go for it.
Yeah, and the other
That's off
option, of
nose
course,
on
is,
that
is to get rid of these 2 up front here, and then that might give you 2 options
9.
on your last rock of the end, but
We gotta
this is
hit
kind
just
of
off
make
nose.
it or break it now.
Yeah, she's kind of real. I think she's realizing she's got to get into the forefoot somehow on her first shot for a chance of getting 1 on her last.
Putting things into full perspective, giving up a steal of 1 here is not the end of the world.
I was out.
You might get lucky here. If you go blue, we'll make contact. We'll
It's not great.
remove 2 guards, stick the shooter.
Yeah, that makes the situation maybe a little bit, well,
I
maybe
just
the
brought it
same.
out.
She
I
does
won't-
have that shot again, I think.
Guard the
I think
blue.
right now what you have too is you do have, well, no, it's not. That's not going to do you any good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know, to score, you're going to have to punch that red one out to the right.
They don't
Correct.
That's the only way. You need a lot of weight to do it.
Correct. Right now, I don't think red can, or sorry, blue can score.
Yeah, I don't see much here. So
See, that's what happens when you come
right now, you know, as we see it right now, red is guaranteed 1 Team Douglas. Is there?
They're blue?
They brought Natalie's back.
Is there maybe a chance to maybe grab the side of the button? Does that improve your situation, or does that help Team Hafeli maybe score 1 here in 6?
In all honesty, I wouldn't even go anywhere near the rings on this shot. I would just try and
If they run
block
that
that blue
blue,
shot
they
that you know.
potentially could,
The
but
blue run is pretty much the only thing
we're
that
just gonna
Hafeli
go
has
under.
right now. So
Or they're guarding, I don't know.
I would be pretty happy with the way this game has gone to take my 1 and run.
If we have the right angle, it might run into there and do that. I don't know. I'm just hoping here.
So it's the last rock for Rebecca Douglas here in the 6th end.
No. Yes.
It will bounce
This is the
off,
same
and
thing
I
pretty
think
I think she's I think she's done it. I don't know if the run is there anymore. And if it is, can you push the red one out far enough?
Yeah, you're going to have to throw a
Like
rocket
barely
at
on
it.
it, Like we can't even.
I don't know if Holly can throw enough weight.
How much weight? Same.
But she's going to give it a go. You never know.
Yeah, and I don't think you can hurt yourself here.
No, there's no way you're going to give up a steal of 2.
We have to try the same thing. Yeah, like barely off nose, like almost nose will get it.
I think it's still there.
I don't know if we would sit shot still, but it's worth a try, right? That's 9. Yeah.
I like what Holly said there. It's worth the try.
Absolutely. I love that that attitude. That's perfect. Give it a go. You never know.
And it's great for the camera, too. Great for the entertainment value. Final rock here in 6.
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Georgia.
Well, they'll drive the blue in, but they will keep the red on the button. So it'll be a steal of 1 for Team Douglas here in end number 6 and draw number 3 of the 2020 BC Juniors. The Team Hafeli still has the 5-4 lead with the hammer heading into end number 7 from Victoria.
My hearing isn't that bad.
Stop making excuses and do something about your hearing loss. Connect Hearing offers solutions that are discreet, reliable, and cost-effective. Book your free hearing test today.
Just leave it. Nice shot.
Back instead, the Victoria Curling Club, end number 7. Team Hafeli throwing the Blue Rocks has a 5-4 lead over Team Douglas. They do have the hammer here in 7.
Top 4.
Jordan Kiss with Melissa Saligo.
Hannah.
It's a nice center guard there, put up by Bella.
Yep.
Now going back to that 6 in there, I feel that's probably the best end Team Douglas has played all game. Wouldn't you say, Melissa?
Yeah, I fully agree with you, Jordan.
Good shot,
they
Nat,
put
that's fine.
7 or 8 really great shots together there.
I just gotta give her
Put a
more
ton
ice.
of pressure on their opposition.
And third, Brooke, the MVP of that end, her
Backhouse.
rock ended up counting on that perfect come around freeze.
Yeah, she made 2 pistols that game, or that end.
So looking to carry the momentum here.
It's a great conversation by Team Hafeli on the break. You could hear, we could hear Holly talking to her team, just saying we don't want anything behind the tee line, behind the button. That got them into a lot of trouble early in the end, and they were chasing pretty much that whole end. So really important to try and stay above that tee line.
That rock from Bella will slide on
Let's
through.
go this way this time. We could go outside if you like better, because if we're here, it would be better. Okay.
So just going to play in, partially bury behind the red center guard.
Again, really important for Natalie to stay above the tee line. She made a great one on her first.
No. It's running. Georgia. Just clean. No, we don't want it through. I just want to make sure it's passed. No. Fine, Nat.
So that will come on through as
Just
well.
Board.
So another chance here for Team Douglas. Board weight here. And just trying to get that red one out of the way. Ryan Chess, the second.
Whoa, whoa. Nice shot.
Will come to nose, and a great example there of what throwing the right weight in a situation and the weight control can do for your team.
Absolutely, that was peach perfect. It was right on the nose, and just the great weight for the sweepers to be able to manage it the whole way down. So Georgia looking to, looks like she's actually throwing the freeze, I think was called.
That's Hannah O'Neill throwing.
Oh, sorry,
yes,
Hannah.
Hannah throws the second stones, but does hold the broom for Holly.
Whoa. That's rock. Easy, girls.
Just trying to get to
Pretty good,
nose.
Hannah.
She will bump it a bit.
Yeah, pretty good shot though, I think. I'm not sure
Just a
why
guard.
Team Hafeli elected to play the freeze. I think they could have maybe tried to play the hit, the same shot as Team Douglas did, but in a perfect world, I think they would be looking to blank this end and take Hammer home in 8 up 1. But as it looks like right now, someone's going to score.
Where is it?
Yeah, I think Team Douglas will
Let's
love to
tight,
play the
yeah.
aggressive game here.
Yes.
This rock is
Whoa.
over curling.
Yep.
The blue one is still open here for Team Hafeli to play hit and remove the red stone on the button.
So I think she called bumper weight. Pretty much anywhere on the outside of that stone will get rid of the red one. Don't need to throw a ton of weight here though.
Sweep it past, Georgia, sweep it past. Okay.
I heard Holly say sweep it past. It was a bit wide, and the last thing you want to do is ruin the angle.
So it'll be another guard here for Team Douglas, guarding that red rock for their life in the button. Of course, can't really make a play on that blue one. Too risky.
Yeah, I agree. Anywhere on the left-hand side of the center as we look at it.
So you're now on the third rocks here in 7.
Tight. Where is it? Whoa. No. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
So we'll join the pile up there, and it'll take away a little bit of the blue, but it's still there here for Team Hafeli and Georgia.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, I think Hannah overthrew that last one, so again, looking for bumper weight. They could even throw a hack weight on this shot.
Again, with the guards, you know, you don't have to move that red one far. You move it out of the forefoot. You're sitting one buried.
Exactly.
Yep. Yes!
You can get by the guard here. You're looking pretty good.
Yeah, get by the guard first.
Hard. That's
It
fine.
will hit. Again, we'll open things up for the time being. But another guard opportunity for Team Douglas.
And for Team Douglas, the last 2 guards have over curled, so she'll be looking to take maybe 2 or 3 inches more ice, which she's done. Maybe a full rock or 2 on the left-hand side of the
Whoa,
center
wait
line.
only. Take a look. Bella, hard. Hard, Bella, over and off. Hard.
This one's
Yes!
going sideways as well.
Yeah. Just leave it.
And this one will stop. Looks like in time. I don't think it's, you know, it's still there with soft weight. If you really want to give it a try. Again, it's a high guard, but
Yeah, I think you're right. It probably is there with even back line weight would do it.
I think if you absolutely had to make it, you know, say it was your last rock, you know, it's there. But I think right now, peel, try to make it easier on yourself. But this one is wide.
Oh, you got a tick, I think.
And they will hit enough to move it.
Oops,
Job
sorry.
done.
And that is out, so
Same thing.
peel is made.
It's here.
Keep tossing it out.
And for Team Douglas, this is pretty much, I would say, they're at least fourth,
Gotta have a
fifth
shot
guard
from
in a
their
row
hustler
they've
at least.
thrown.
Guard. Yeah.
Yeah, at least number 4.
Okay.
And again, I like where Rebecca's putting the broom. She's given herself another extra inch or two. Brooke's previous one almost over curling. He was in a good spot.
Okay.
Or we do a run, because that's all we have.
Whoa. Zelina!
So they're on this to make it curl.
You can just see it make it the break
Yes!
there. She definitely was a little farther out than
yes,
the other
yes,
ones, but
yes.
working
go,
really
go!
hard just to get it as close to center as possible.
And it will be a little wider than what we've seen.
I wonder if we can get
And
through there enough.
Is there a hole?
that is the question. Well, it looks like there is. I
Probably
think,
worth
you know,
going for it, and if you hit a guard, that's
Yeah.
okay.
you know, I think it's because you need to throw, you know, probably back line
We
a hack
could go through
here.
the port, though.
Just because you do need to hit,
We
I guess
could
from this
go through
angle, the
port.
outside of the blue one.
Yeah, so if you throw
drive it
the counterclockwise or the right-hander's out turn, it'll curl past the guard and get to the outside of the blue one as you need. So it's actually set up pretty well if there is a hole there.
It's almost framed up for him,
It
I think.
is.
It feels like it is just, you know, has a good visual, but they are going to use their first time out.
I don't. We need to make sure we get in there because they're just guarding on their next shot, right?
So Dave for Team Douglas, Dave Douglas for Team Douglas, and Monica.
The only thing
gonna say
we
Makar
have
this
is a
time.
run, maybe.
I'm
say
sure I'll get it right
Makar.
at one point.
I know, that's the
go
thing.
out.
We'd have to come out turn, we would tap that. I'm only thinking 11. Try
You
to
know, I see Holly earlier just say that they need to make a
But we
play on
have
it
to-
now.
we
Because,
have to
again,
hit
kind of
it
like the
on their
last, if
side,
you don't
that's the
do it
thing.
now, you're not going to have a shot for one on your last.
Yeah, fully agree.
Yeah, but we have to come through here and hit this side. Oh, sorry, Hannah. I think a 10 is the right shot. All right, the right weight. Well, the thing is, if I wreck on the guard, then we're at least clearing the. If we wreck on the guard, then we're at least clearing.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think it is. It's hard though, because this ice curls so much. Like you have to throw peel. Like
If he gets through it, you're gonna have to get through it too.
With 11, you will.
No, because of the angle. You can never chip that blue past the red.
How close do we have to come to the red that's on the center? How close do we have to come to it? I know, but how close do we have to come to it?
It doesn't matter.
really
You
close.
get through the hole, you've made
Like a very close.
Okay, let's throw it. Where do you like the ice? Where do you like ice? Like here? Ice here? Are we throwing 9 or 10? 9-5, okay. So, like right in the middle of the both of them. Because I don't think it'll move a lot off the center.
I don't think it will, which is I'm kind of leaning more
Towards there, yeah, okay. It's right there.
They have decided to go through the hole, which, you know, the other option, of course, is to peel.
Definitely some good conversation there. I heard somebody
Right there with
say,
9.
if you get through the hole, you've made the shot. And that is exactly right. If you get through the hole,
Right here
you've
with
made the
9-5.
shot. I mean, I think you do have to throw decent weight. They're throwing a 9.5. That's pretty
normal weight,
solid.
yeah.
The key is if you're going to hit a guard, you want to probably hit the one that was just put there by Rebecca Douglas so that you may have another opportunity to get this same shot.
Personally, I feel 9.5 might be too much.
I'm wondering
Because
as
the
well.
more you could curl, the better on this one. So I personally like throwing a board weight here.
I'm just throwing a 9. You just gotta get through the port.
Yeah,
now she's
like,
throwing a 9.
Yeah, like they're saying that they just need to get through the port.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jordan.
Yeah.
I think maybe even a 10 would be pretty good here. You have to get it off the center line, and it'll take a while to do that. She's pretty close.
Yeah, through. It's going to be
Great
pretty
shot,
nice to get it and get it off the button, and they're going to
Fabulous
end
shot.
up sitting two.
I was like, oh,
What a
shoot.
great shot.
And they're going to have
by
a rock
Holly.
buried there behind the guard in the 8-foot.
What was I?
Couldn't
maybe a hair
make
out?
that any better.
That was incredible. What a great shot.
Yeah. If we had just gotten that to curl a hair more, perfect. Good thing we made that though. No kidding.
That is exactly what you needed, and
then I had
Rebecca,
no clue in heck what
pressure's all on her now.
Unless we want to try a weird slash.
It's a draw against 2 without the
Draw
hammer.
2.
Down 1
Or at
here
least
in
a draw
7.
for a 1. We can even tap for a 1 here, so. It'll curl a lot here, and we haven't been this far out, so. That's a squeaky boom. That's annoying.
We haven't seen this side so far, this end, and I'm not sure we've seen it for actually a couple events because we've been playing corner guards down on the odd ends here. So kind of a new piece of ice right now. Haven't seen it for quite a while.
Pretty close to both. I know. But I almost thought she would have curled it into that one, right?
So they're on it early. They're on it for line.
Straighter than I thought.
They can keep it straight. It's going to be good here.
Yeah, really working hard to get it past that guard. If they can, it's going to be a beaut.
Going hard. Can they get it by? And it'll just rub off. That close from perfection.
Normal?
It looks like it is second shot, so it is a hit
Maybe
for
a
3
hair more.
for Team Hafeli.
Yeah, just normal. Hit for 3.
What a turnaround this end for Team Hafeli on that first shot she made. It was just such a fantastic shot. So hit for 3 here to pretty much change the complexion of this game.
Georgia? Great shot, girls. Really nice.
So we'll hit on the nose, and it will be a score of 3 for Team Hafeli here in 7. They'll take the 8-4 lead to end number 8 here in Victoria at the 2020 BC Junior Championships.
My hearing isn't that bad.
Stop making excuses and do something about your hearing loss. Connect Hearing offers solutions that are discreet, reliable, and cost-effective. Book your free hearing test today.
Yep, get it there, girls. It's gotta be there. Gotta be in.
Set number 8 of the
Gotta be
third
in.
draw of
It's
the
there. Really good
BC
speed.
Junior
Keep
Curling
going, keep going,
Championships
keep going.
here
Pull it
in
there,
Victoria.
Hannah.
Jordan Kiss
Great
with
shot.
Melissa
Good speed, girls.
Saligo. Team
You guys left
Hafeli
it
with
almost
a
for too long
big
there.
score of 3. In 7, have the 8-4 lead over Team Douglas, who does have the hammer.
You like
Of
her?
course, 10 ends of play, so
I didn't hear
still
a single
3 ends to go. I'd like to give a special shout out to Alex Horvath and the Victoria Curling Club. Alex Horvath, defending champion, not junior eligible anymore, but he is the chair of this event, and he's done a great job of getting everything ready. He's been working nonstop, as well as thank all the officials and all the volunteers and everybody involved of putting this event on.
Yeah, it's a tough event, obviously, over Christmas, and everybody needs a break, but this event takes place, and Victoria Curling Club, under the leadership of Alex Horvath, has really stepped up and has done such a fabulous job here.
All the volunteers, all the timers, especially the observers. It's cold out there. Honestly, Victoria is probably one of the coldest curling rinks I've been in. It's a cold one, and
it is
the observers are out there shivering, doing their job, and really appreciate them for that.
It has to move, and I don't think Hannah can.
We even have some fans out there today, and I can see them looking pretty cold as well.
Yeah, of course, you have seating there over on sheet
fine,
8.
just a hair bit too much, yeah.
So the key for Team Hafeli, obviously, is getting their rocks in play in the rings. They don't want any guards out front. Unfortunately for Natalie, hers second one was just a little bit heavy, so it kind of rolled off the one top 4 and behind the T-line now, behind the guard. So kind of a double whammy and opportunity here now for Team Douglas to put a good one in place. Bella Higdon looking to just freeze to this stone, be fully buried with backing.
So they will free up, almost freeze. They'll tap, but they will sit second shot behind the corner.
Do you want to come here or do you want to go here? I don't mind that. Yeah, like just up here? Okay.
So they're going to look to freeze 2, which I do like. Takes it away, or sitting 2. Although, I think, the problem with that, though, is that it does bring play towards the wings, in which when you don't have a hammer, that's not what you want to do.
That's exactly right.
That looks more than
that. Key point there. And if you are going to play to the wings, maybe just play even a back
curl,
liner
so don't touch it.
and try and actually get to the nose because of that high guard, get to the nose or a little inside. And if you happen to tick the guard, that's okay too. So you can get a lot out of a shot like that with back line, and a freeze is kind of playing into the hands of Team Douglas right now.
I think I gave her a little bit too much ice there. Just
so they are sitting 2.
I just saw Rebecca indicate backline weight just to try and tap the stone. I think that's a good call. You don't need to throw any kind of hit weight. Anything back 12, back 8, that your opposition stones are only going to help you.
Our plan is good.
This one's really over curling, Jordan.
And will over curl, and will move the rock to the 4 foot. So it's Team Douglas sitting 2 or 3 and 4, but it does leave a pocket for Team Hafeli to draw to and just take those out of consideration for scoring.
The other option here, of course, is to peel this corner guard.
Yeah, that is another option. Yep.
You're definitely allowed to at this point. I think Holly maybe have forgotten to do that. I don't know. I think you really want to get rid of that corner guard at this point.
I forgot about it, so I'm not surprised if she forgot about it.
Good thing I'm here.
It's in those things where you get caught in the aggressive game and you don't.
Get it there. Come on,
you just kind of forget about the guards and about peeling. And they see an opportunity as well, so I think that comes a factor, but that does come up light.
And see, that's one of the worst things that could have happened there is that coming up light. So I think Rebecca needs to think about making a play on a couple of these blue stones that are first and second shot.
It's back house.
Don't need to throw hits. I still don't believe.
Great, but not bad.
And if you do, I feel it's the one top 4.
That's fine. You're a little bit up on your last one by like a hair, but
yeah, if you can get a perfect hit and roll here, that would be ideal. Even if you hit and roll in front of the other blue stone that's back 4, that would be great too. The only concern I have is if you don't roll all the way, you're given an easier shot to your opposition to get themselves out of what's building here.
Yes. Hard. Hard roll.
So a hit. And they'll roll over to the right side of the forefoot. Still wide open for Georgia and Team Hafeli. Again, for Team Douglas, it's chance to maybe bunch some blues together, maybe leave a double, and a chance to sit 3 at some point during this end.
Hannah! Hannah, you gotta go!
And they will hit it thin, and everything will jam, and all the blues will spill, leaving Team Douglas sitting 3 with the hammer. And have a double corner guard up there.
Yeah, unfortunately that did not work out well for Team Hafeli. So 2 options here actually for Team Douglas. I believe that the reason they're coming around the corner guard again is because those rocks are all behind the tee line, and they want to prevent Team Hafeli from being able to freeze to them. The other option, of course, is to go to the wide open side, put it in a good spot, and see if Team Hafeli would chase it. But I don't mind the shot at all. Just want to make sure you're above the tee line.
Yes! 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 Hard! Hard! Yep! 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 Whoa, whoa, whoa!
It's a pretty great shot.
That is top 8 buried, but there is still room for Team Hafeli. You don't have to freeze to this one. I think even if you even if you kind of sit right there on the tee line and are buried, it's going to be very tough for Team Douglas to remove.
I kind of don't fully agree, not with your call, but I also look at the scoreboard. And the fact that you're up 4, could you even maybe make an attempt on the one that was just thrown on the red one and throw hit weight at it? If you get lucky and hit what you can see, you can actually catch one at the back. It's maybe potentially about elimination here. If you don't make this freeze perfect, you're in a ton of trouble.
I didn't know if we can get it to
It
curl
will
that
bounce
much.
off.
13-7.
So I really like the hit there for Team Hafeli.
So things are looking very nice for Team Douglas. So hit and roll away.
And honestly, for Team Douglas right now, if you hit and roll out, that's probably not too bad.
It's probably better than nosing.
Absolutely.
I think I'd rather hit and roll out than nosing.
Absolutely.
We have to draw the one that they maybe roll out on. So we have to make sure that we...
Whoa!
You don't want this rock anywhere near those other red stones.
Can't let that happen.
This one needs to get across the center line first to
Hard
make
ball.
contact.
Hard for peace. Shoot, good job.
I will go on by, so
You want to hit roll?
a break there for Team Hafeli, but not out of the woods yet.
I think I still like the hit here.
Like draw right here.
The draw, it is a pocket. Even if they get in there, it's going to be extremely tough to remove.
But if they hit that,
That's very true, actually. The draw might not be bad now.
I think now is a good time to play it.
Actually, there's a lot more tolerance on the draw. You're right, and if you're up a little bit, even if you're top 12 and you protect your own, that's okay too. Eventually, they're going to have to try and make a play on it. So yeah, I do agree with you, Jordan, that the draw is good here.
Hit and roll over, but then we get
Lots of
double,
opportunities,
right?
lots of tolerance on the shot.
Yeah, I think anything, 8 foot, top 8 still really good.
We gotta be.
Yeah, huge opportunity there for Team Douglas. Unfortunately for Brooke, just a little heavy and wide.
Less. Good. Little less.
So this is Holly's first stone here in 8. Trying to get her team out of this end here.
Stay close. Stay close. Natalie.
This one's looking good as it makes its way into the house.
By that point, we
will
probably could have
sit
had you
there and
I think that's
does the
pretty
job.
good.
Yeah, I don't. It's wedged in there. Oh, there might be a chance for Rebecca to get it out. You'll lose one red. Well, I think, there might be room. They are gonna call a timeout. Like, you can see about half of it. I think you can punch it through. Hold up.
Jordan's playing with my telestrator again.
There we
just
go.
saying.
It's mine too. What's yours is mine. You hit it. You can hit it through the hole. It'll hit off this red one. This red one should go into that blue
I agree.
one.
Yeah, there's lots. You got to throw some weight at this one for sure. You need to try and move those blue ones.
You're gonna jam all day.
Just a quick update. We do have our first final. Team Daniels 9-3 victors over Team Richards on sheet A. Team Daniels now going to 3-0. Richards 1-1.
The middle one?
Yeah. Hit the back line. Even if you chip that one.
Yeah.
It's gonna really, if you chip it, you're gonna hit it into the blue.
Yeah.
You'll stick around.
But we're not gonna get the blue out if we hit it with back line.
How you just push it through that hole,
Okay, well,
right?
I don't think that's good enough.
What do you mean? You push it through, even if you touch that
Okay,
one,
yeah.
you'll come here,
Yeah.
and then you may have a double on your last.
Okay.
But you'll probably try and come in here again.
Yeah.
Right? But I think you need to kind of come in there with like backline weight or,
Yeah.
To push it through. You just
Yeah.
got to get past that front. Yeah.
So what kind of weight? Back line?
Yeah, backline. Just
Okay.
backline. Just past back.
So back line weight hitting that one.
Well, even if you throw a hit at this,
Yeah.
lose this one, wiggle this down, this is going here, and this is like fuse crossed open.
I don't know.
Shoot this here first.
So
Get this one out.
so what kind of weight are you saying?
You would throw normal.
At that? I don't think we. He's saying heavy draw. Or we peel it, is what she's saying.
Who?
We peel that.
No,
I don't like
think
that. I don't like
I'd rather you try and come in and sit there
Yes.
and,
Back line.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, bye. Back line.
Some great conversation there with Coach Dave Douglas, and
He's saying come through.
Which one are you?
you can hear the girls still discussing it. I think it's pretty much what we said. If you can throw a back line to hack,
Okay.
you need a little bit of weight.
More weight?
I don't think you need anything more than hack. And if you can get as close to face of that blue stone as possible, it'll push the red one over on the blue one, as you indicated, Jordan.
That's good.
Get rid of at least one blue and keep your red one in front of it. So really important here to play this as tight to the guard as possible.
Yeah, the more you can hit, the better.
Depends on the scenario. If we can't hit it without hitting our own out, then we'll.
Yeah, just a back line to hack will do the job.
Most we want
I
to
think hack will at least try and eliminate one stone. I'm not sure back line will. But great call.
Yeah.
So it's the first rock for Rebecca in this 8th end. With the hammer,
Yes,
currently
hard!
trailing by 4.
She looked a little tight out of her hand.
Yeah, they're on it right away.
Right.
Yeah, a lot more than we thought it would, hey?
Maybe can still create something out of this.
Tight.
It's going to be on the red rock.
So it rolls for shot, so it makes Holly have to deal with it. The key for Holly here is she needs to stick in the rings. The weight was pretty good on Rebecca's last one, just a little bit tight out of her hand.
I feel like she could have thrown a little more weight on that one. I feel like if she made contact.
I like nosing it, Hannah.
Oh,
If we
you
just
never
roll
know,
a little
but-
bit, it's good.
It was a good good try, but for Holly here,
Little less.
yeah, hit,
Little less.
stick,
Yeah.
stick anywheres in the 8-foot.
No. Natalie!
Oh, she's wide on this one.
Georgia! Georgia!
The good news is she has a pile to roll into. a great shot.
I don't have my gripper and I need to go to the bathroom.
So it's Team Hafeli sitting 3 without the hammer. And I don't see any shots for multiple points.
I don't either, just a nose for 1.
Just normal.
There's going to be a nose hit for 1 point for Team Douglas. And you have to say, with the way this end was looking early on, it's a very disappointing one, wouldn't you say, Melissa?
Yeah, it was something definitely building for Team Douglas, and they really had their opportunities. And unfortunately, there was a miss on the third stones and created this an opportunity for Team Hafeli to get back in it. So they are breathing a sigh of relief for sure. So, but a hit and stick here for 1, with 2 ends to go.
Yes! Whoa, no, no, no! No! No!
So it will come to the nose,
shot.
and it will be a score of 1 for Team Douglas in 8. They now trail Team Hafeli 8-5 with 2 ends to go here in draw number 3 of the 2020 BC Junior Championships.
Miles to go, champ.
Shouldn't we be going faster?
Nah, with Bel Air Direct, you can save money on your optional car insurance by driving safely.
Up to 25%. Slow and steady, champ.
Save up to 25% for safe driving on your optional car insurance with Bel Air Direct.
This isn't just a beer. This is a double-aged, never-back-down, full-of-heart Western beer. This is a beer brewed by 16 guys who risked it all. Original 16. Underdogs since 1989.
No. Whoa.
And number 9 here in Victoria, draw number 3 of the 2020 BC Junior Curling Championships. Team Hafeli throwing the Blue Stones has an 8-5 lead over Team Douglas. They do have the hammer here in 9. But first rock from Bella coming into the rings.
Normal.
Yeah, having that first rock slip into the rings makes it makes your quest for trying to steal a little bit more difficult.
You almost kind of have to steal in this situation right now if you're
Definitely.
Team Douglas.
Hard. Hard roll. Good shot.
Great shot there by Natalie.
So Bella will get another chance
I
to
put it on already.
throw the center guard. I'd like to remind everybody that our next feature game will be at 2 o'clock. Team Bowles versus Team Bushy. Of course, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Curl BC's YouTube page. We'll be posting a lot more content, more than just games here throughout the week. We'll be doing post-game interviews with some of the teams, including the winner of this game, and that interview will be posted later on.
There's a good guard there by Bella. Team Hafeli obviously has a game plan in mind. They're going to try and get around this guard. Another option, of course, would be to try and play the tick. But if you haven't practiced the tick, and it's not something that you have in your game plan, then your tactic, then you definitely go around. Again, the key here being top rings. Don't want to be behind the tee line.
George's rock only. 14-7. It's fine, Nat.
So we'll slide. It'll be on the back tee line, but it is open. And Team Douglas
Close to the button
don't need a
like
hit. Opposition rocks are your friends.
Just sit on it.
Through the court? I didn't know
If that rock wasn't in such a great position, they definitely could put another guard up, but it's right on the button, so
but like it kind of
probably
was
not
at
something
the
you want
middle,
to
I
leave
guess, so.
right there. So
Whoa.
again, playing the
Whoa,
freeze.
line! Whoa, Bella! Whoa! Brooke!
Do you have another final
Brooke.
sheet D, men's action? Team Carpenter picking up their first win with an 8-1 victory over Team Parkinson.
Yep. Hard. Okay, Bella. Hard, hard, hard. Okay.
So we'll come to the top of the 4-foot buried for second shot.
We could just peel. If you're inside, we can peel. Okay, so I like that.
So Holly kind of wanting to play at the red, but the front end just wanted to go with the straight peel, which I believe is the right call in this situation. You're up late in the game. Usually the peel is the right call.
I agree. Just get rid of it.
I don't know if you have any.
I don't know if
Looks like it might be.
Now you do.
No, we got enough.
Oh, for sure.
There we go.
I mean, plan B, I guess, would
Yeah,
be
like-
to apply and get the red one in the house, but
Holly knew she was putting the broom where she was putting the broom down. Maybe that's what she make the front end think
like
you're playing the
that?
peel, but really you're playing for the one in the house.
Just run it.
I'd almost be tempted to throw another center guard here, Jordan.
Yeah, I think one more. You know, that blue rock is still open as long as you guard your own rock.
Correct.
You're going to have a shot at the blue one.
As soon as you play the hit on this, you bring all the play into the rings, which is exactly what Team Hafeli wants.
You're good. Nice
They'll
shot.
hit and they'll get a little roll behind that blue rock. So sitting 2 right now without the hammer.
Yeah, if we roll on top, it's not that bad. I'm only going to ask for this. Normal.
Looks like they are going to try a double. Let's see if Hannah O'Neill can make the shot.
Yeah! Hard net, yes!
Kind of made it pretty hard on themselves throwing this double. If they make it, it's great. But you could have just gone for the open one with the big way the scoreboard is right now.
They will take their own off. So center guard
No, you were online. That's why I didn't call.
is the call. You have the one on the button.
Yeah, the way that was set up, that was a very difficult shot. You could have, again, just hit the open one. Leave that one there. You can always run it on your next one if you needed to.
Tight.
But this now kind of puts the little bit more pressure on Hafeli to line, looking at 2, and if they make a perfect center guard here, you'll be peeling for the rest of this end.
Yeah, it's like you want to leave the 4-foot open in that situation. Just hitting the open one, even if you roll out. Team Douglas isn't perfectly set up right now.
And there's
But-
lots of room, right? There's lots of room to hit the 4-foot. So
But this one isn't going to make it over the hog line. And it'll be another chance at the double. Georgia will get a chance to throw it this time.
No. No.
They'll make kind of one and both.
It's fine.
But the shooter will hang on, which is important. But it is Team Douglas sitting 1. And you are trying to steal. Do you throw a center guard?
What do you like?
I do like the center guard here, or and if they choose to peel it, or they can choose to hit the one in the rings. And if they go for the one in the rings, you come around it. That setup will always be there. I think forcing them to one at this point isn't your best option. I think you really need to steal here. And the only way to steal is potentially to throw up the center guard.
No, 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 off. Off.
So playing the hit. This one needs
Hard
the
for
curl to
piece.
make. Yep, as you can hear, needs the curl for a piece. It will hit a piece, but it will roll out. And blank is in play for Team Hafeli.
Which is a perfect situation for them. They can peel here. They'll retain hammer in the 10th end.
No!
Up 3.
Hannah! For a piece. Hard for a piece.
Well, you gotta get it out first.
No, you got nothing.
Well, that's
just
gonna
slid
go
out
by.
What do you like?
9-7, but she slid out. That's why I'm giving last ice.
Now chance to sit 2. Still not looking good to steal, but you got at least.
No, split's good.
Again, center guard is an option, but again, with the risk with the center is that Team Hafeli draws around.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost too late, I guess. But you put this one in, you're basically saying let's force them to 1.
I'm gonna try for your 4 and 10, which we saw,
Which we've
we've seen already once. Yesterday, draw number 1, Team Caldwell scoring 4 against Team Reed to win it in the 10th end.
If they're not in, though.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible.
The only other place they could put it is top low.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Skip rocks
No.
here in 9.
No. No. Hard.
Unless they run out of.
Needs to hit paint, and they will.
Draw 2 it, or do we want to? Draw 2 or hit.
I think I heard the question draw or hit, and I'm pretty sure you're hitting in this situation.
Yeah, I don't know where you.
I think like right.
It's almost like they're maybe trying to get their 2.
Middle curl.
Almost trying to
Oh
win
boy,
it here.
if I was coach, I'd be calling a timeout here real quick. The point of the situation right now, Jordan, is to eliminate. Just hit 1. Doesn't even matter which one you hit. You got to hit. If you score 1 here, you're in such a good shape coming home. But I would never, ever throw the freeze here. You're increasing your degree of difficulty. This is a hard shot.
If I don't make this, they're most likely hitting anyways. So, I'll just have to draw from at 1. It's fine. I'll have my draw weight down.
Sounds like Holly knows that she's gonna have to throw a draw on her last one. So maybe it's also just just get a feel for draw weight.
I understand the theory for sure, but you have to play the scoreboard in this situation. She's going to prove me wrong, but
She will bump it.
Yeah.
Just a little
Have
bit
the
of
weight.
yeah, no, I really, really believe from a coaching standpoint, I would have called a timeout and ensured that she hit one of those stones. If you hit 1, the most if anything ever went sideways, the most you'd ever give up is 2 and still have a lead coming home with. And that's all about scoreboard management. Now you're drawing against a potential tie if she makes the hit and stick on the
Yeah,
shot.
that is very true.
Control. Okay. Well then.
Rebecca still has to make this first off.
It's okay.
Stick in the rings.
It's normal. Okay.
worst, just make the blue go away.
No. No.
I would draw the same way though, hey?
No. No. Whoa.
Nice shot.
Yep. Hit is made, so
Let's just draw.
for Holly, it's a draw against 3. Good news, lots of rings to work with. Needs 8 foot.
Hey, we got it.
She had her weight on her last one. Can she do it once more? And take a 4-point lead to the 10th and final end.
Yeah, we just gotta be full 8.
And I love the confidence of Holly coming down there, talking to her team, and just saying, you know, we need full 8. We've got this. And I love that about the situation and Holly doing this. I mean, as a skip, you have to be able to draw, obviously.
Full 8. It looks
But
all
I just don't know if you need to put that much pressure on yourself.
No. No.
Sweepers haven't touched this, but they're seem
pretty good.
confident with it. Well, we're gonna finish it up here.
Good shot,
Great
girl.
shot. Well done.
And they make it. So a score of 1 for Team Hafeli. And looks like we are going to go to
Glad you proved me wrong.
Yes. And we are going to have ourselves a 10th end here in Victoria. And they'll be coming up right after this here at the 2020 BC Junior Championships.
My hearing isn't that bad.
Stop making excuses and do something about your hearing loss. Connect Hearing offers solutions that are discreet, reliable, and cost-effective. Book your free hearing test today.
That was a tight one, hey?
And number 10 here in Victoria, Team Hafeli throwing the Blue Rocks with a 9-5 lead over Team Douglas, who has the hammer. And a couple finals. Team Sato defeating Team Tau 7-3, and Team Caldwell defeating Team Ballard 8-6. No, 11-6. One other game on the ice right now that's not ours. Sheet E, Team Calhoun versus Team Bowls. They're currently playing 10. Team Bowls up 7-5, and of course Team Bowls playing in our feature game at 2 o'clock against Team Bushy.
It's a good start here to the 10th end. Great shot by Natalie Hafeli. Puts it top 12. Key there is to put it in the rings. Corner guard thrown by Bella.
No!
Now Natalie looking to
Georgia.
just duplicate her first one.
I don't know if we can. Keep trying. It's fine. Good weight. Just wear a
And
hair
will
out, I
hit their
think.
own and create some separation. And we saw the last time they were coming this way, Team Douglas almost, generated a big end. They had lots of rocks in the house, but only one of them where it was able to count for a point.
No. No. Bruh.
This one is hanging out and will hit and roll out, and that's a situation where you're down by 4. The hit wasn't needed. Like we said, probably too many times this game.
Yeah, you just have to think about it. How do you generate points? And
if you want, that's fine.
we saw Rebecca Douglas call an absolutely perfect end in the 8th end where she was tapping rocks, coming around corner guards, ignoring the blue stones or opposition stones. And that is just so very, very key when you're trying to generate multiple point in. And in this situation, 4. You need 4 points just to tie. So by throwing a hit, your chances of rolling out are 50-50, and unfortunately for Bella, she just rolled out on her second one there. So not a good situation right now for Team Douglas to try and manufacture some points.
That's fine, Hannah. I need to get an opportunity, guys.
So Team Douglas still has the corner guard, and they are going to go around it.
Top 8. Hold tight. Yes. Hard line. Hard line. Whoa. You're on it.
So they are going to hit the corner guard. We'll leave 2 guards up, though, which is not bad. We got 5 rocks left. Need 4 of them to count.
We can't be late, though. Yeah. See. I think she wants us to clear it.
Looks like a timeout being called.
So
No, I know.
it's their Team Hafeli, their final
But you'll have to
timeout.
throw a lot of weight, Han.
They originally called the draw come around
Sometimes.
Jordan, but I think that, again, no need.
He's not even gonna come
Just
out.
peel away.
Yep, eliminate red.
Hey,
Rocks behind.
I said
Okay,
that.
let's talk about
I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, peel. Right? And then if there's nothing left, peel the corner. If there's nothing else next time.
Just
if
hit
they
all
go
the
through
rocks.
or
We're just
whatever.
trying to eliminate
If
points,
they're
right?
in the house and open, obviously hit them. If there's nothing of theirs in the house that's open, peel. Even if there's nothing in the house, peel. Right? That's smart.
Hey, I had said that before. Yes, because y'all said you like the draw.
You liked it too. Don't lie.
It was my second choice, though. It was my second choice. Lies.
I'm not sure if you heard that, Jordan, but I think I
Peel
heard
away, Hannah.
Coach Monica say peel about 7 times.
Yeah, should be a lot. She's reinforcing the
So I'm
get
pretty
rid of the red.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she wants them to peel.
Yeah.
Start doing the math here. As you said, there's only 5 rocks left, so start eliminating.
Yep. Hard. Yes, Nat. Jesus.
So they will hit the red, but they will still leave a corner
Georgia,
guard.
You like my yodel?
So it's not over yet for Team Douglas. Still lots of rocks to work with. All 3 of those rocks to play are useful to them.
I think Monica should count that as singing. I was like, that's not gonna curl enough to.
Hold tight.
That's the last of the
Where is it?
second rocks.
Yes.
Delina
Hard.
Reinchess.
Hard. Yes.
Doesn't matter too much about the weight as long as they get this fully buried.
Whoa,
Even if it's
whoa,
back,
whoa.
that's okay.
Bella.
Got to get it fully buried. Don't give them access to it. That's a great shot. Well
There's
managed.
Barry, that is
Peel, or do we want to come here?
perfect shot. I wouldn't mind peeling, getting the
Then they put
blue
another
one
in.
off the top
or
of the
do we
12
peel
foot.
their guard over there?
Because that's the rock that's guarding this one in the 4 foot.
The one that's
I
top
don't know
12.
if I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
We're trying to limit it, right? There's still a guard there. If we come there,
I agree. That's the one that's giving you trouble right now is the blue top 12, just get rid of it. Even if it is your stone, it doesn't matter.
Like the run?
It's not terrible.
I don't
either.
mind that
Oh,
either.
that's
No.
fine.
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah, don't mind that. Just trying to eliminate.
I like 9.
Right now, the way it stands, they have to get 4 rocks buried behind those 2 blues, so
Yeah.
get rid of the blues.
So on to the third rocks. Georgia Kapitko.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard, Nat.
They will get
That was
one. They
close.
will take the one off the top of the 12 foot, and that's
Fine. Really good.
kind of doing the shot that we wanted to do just the hard way.
Yeah, I agree.
It will still leave the.
Looks way cooler doing
yeah,
it that
looks
way.
cooler that way. They'll still leave the guard up for another chance for Team Douglas to come around.
Tight. Where is it? Hard line. Hard line. Whoa.
This one's going to come on the corner guard, and if
Take
this
it out.
rock goes, this this could be the game. But don't forget, there is a blue rock at the back of the 12 foot. It could jam.
Yep. Yep. Okay, well, yep. Hard.
I'm gonna get
And
a
they
real
will
laugh out of that.
tick the red one. They seem very casual on that one.
I was
They
going to
didn't
say the
it.
exact same thing. She kind of called you up once, and then
They've been kind of relaxed this end. Team Hafeli has, but
yeah, lots of laughing and giggling, but key here to stay focused and put the game away. Just leaves the door open a little bit here for Team Douglas.
going to need the rest of their rocks to count. Brooke Reinchess, her final rock.
Line's tight. Hard. Yes. Hard. Hard. Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. Yes, 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 yes. Little last.
So they got to the top of the 12, but it is an open hit for Holly Hafeli for the win. Needs to get to nose.
Just gotta nose it.
Whoa. No. You're good.
Looks good to be okay, and it will make contact, but it will go out, and
Really good shot.
Team Hafeli will pick up the win here. They'll go to 1-1. And well, Team Douglas will go to 0-2. The final score, 9-5. And that will wrap up our Draw 3 coverage from here in Victoria at the Victoria Curling Club. Don't forget, our next game is at 2 o'clock. More women's action, Team Bowls versus Team Bushy. And don't forget to keep a tab on the YouTube, as there will be an interview with Holly Hafeli up there probably later today. We'll wait and see. But thank you for joining us from Melissa Saligo. I am Jordan Kiss. We'll talk to you very soon.